flying car would be fun, and also you can skip a lot of stuff. The self-driving car would be also you can spend that time doing other stuff.
Flying.
Flying.
Yeah. How about you?
I think self-driving.
Okay.
This is, and I can spend that time doing other stuff. That'd be fun.
It's one of those questions where your answer determines whether or not you believe in functionality or creativity, you know? It's like... It's like the would you rather be able to fly or be invisible question, you know?
Yeah. I feel like it's gotta be flight, right?
What's gotta be flight?
Flight or invisibility, anyway.
Oh, Chase, of course you say flight. You're the kind of person that would say flight.
And visibility is pretty practical too.
I mean, for what? Realistically.
I guess depends on what you're doing.
Yeah. I can't think of a single thing that invisibility is particularly good for that isn't shisty, so...
Yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of too. Like maybe not.
No, I would definitely pick flight. But there are a lot of people that would definitely pick invisibility.
Shisty people.
Well, also people who are self-conscious and whatnot. Isn't that like a thing where you don't want to avoid being around people?
You know, I could see that. Because, like, what's her name from The Incredibles? Violet, yeah, she can go invisible. That's
Wait, Abdullah, I don't know where you live, so tell me when to stop.
Like, soon.
I'm trying to think of a good example. I remember a lot of eating eggs on the floor at 2 a.m., talking about life. And I wrote down such a good list of memories. I'm trying to remember them. So you lived with me in Devon, right? Okay. So you never lived with Eli. Yeah. It was weird because I feel like we moved in together, and I knew you decently well, but neither of us really knew Devon. And you and I communicated so strangely. Like, I remember, I would often say something that I wouldn't explain thoroughly, and then you would hear a completely different thing and respond, and I wouldn't understand what you were talking about. And we had so many weird occurrences. Like, do you remember when you thought I was asking if somebody could sleep on your couch at your old apartment for a week? I'm trying to remember, what did we do that summer? Oh, there was that perfect party.
Remind me.
I think it was our first summer party, and it was only about 25, 30 people, and we pretty much spent the whole time on the porch, and I don't know why, but it was just perfect. Like, everything went perfectly, and there was a bunch of different kinds and groups of people, and everybody was just intermingling, and there was live music on the porch that just kind of happened, and there was people visiting from out of town, and there was just so much joy.
Out-of-towners, yeah.
Yeah, and Eli showed up, and I remember it was all anyone talked about for a few days after that.
I do remember that.
Yeah.
I do remember them talking about it a few days after.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting how quickly things change around here. How, already I'm, not with it because I'm not a student. And it's kind of great. I'm just living a nostalgia summer of, seeing these people that I made friends with and doing all my favorite things for theoretically the last time. And it's pretty joyful, but Athens forgets you quickly. And that's fine, because I need to leave. Athens is such a perfect accepting little bubble.
Accepting little bubble.
Accepting little bubble, yeah. It's a great place to be. It's so easy to be here.
Anyone
Yeah.
is accepted.
I wouldn't say anyone. I mean, it's hard for a lot of people here.
Good people, you mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's hard for a lot of good people everywhere.
What are you looking most forward to where you're going next?
Strangers. I'm looking forward to there being strangers.
I was thinking that leaving college is like when you see the science fiction stories of people that are trying to terraform a new planet like Mars, and it's exactly like that. So you're in your shuttle, you're in a cocoon of life and community, and you're being fed.
Yeah.
And suddenly you're given a diploma, you step out of the box, and you are on Mars without anything. There's nothing. It's barren, there's rocks, it's cruel, the winds are going at 300 miles an hour, and you're wearing the suit, and you're like a couple inches between life and death. And that's why people move back into their parents' house for support, because you can easily die. It is that scary, and it is all. But it's not even scary in like the physical sense. It's like the existential sense. What are you supposed to do?
Yeah.
Like, and it's not even that question of it's like being alive. Like, what are you supposed to do? And there's no answer to that question. There's not one answer, and there's no one answer that can last for like your entire life. And you have to constantly re-ask yourself that question. And I can totally understand why people fall off this like harsh question to like settle. I don't want to even say settle, because that's a different way. They fall into these ranks of, well, I'm just going to go to work. I'm just going to get married. That's just going to be a pocket that takes care of me. So I don't have to ask that question because it's so hard. And then, of course, you're just confronted, dropped the world and like having to make money to pay for a living, and it's fallen on you. And that's added to the stress. So people be like, well, I have to get this job because of the money to pay for my house, so I don't have to move in with my parents again, so I can pay for my car, so I can pay for the internet, so I can keep in touch with my friends and still retain some sort of connection to what I used to be. It's really, really dark. And I can understand why people want to fall back to visit Athens after they come back, because Athens is a very inviting place. It's just kind of scary when you come back and everyone that you know is left. And you've gotten older. But Jasper, I think you're going to be okay. I really mean it. You have all these qualities about you. Bloomington, Indiana will be great. And you have a knack for finding people, and people have a knack for finding you. And I think you also have had the foresight, if that's the right word, to understand the dynamics of friendships, and you have a way of knowing who's a real friend and who's going to stick around. And so, yeah, I think it's scary. You can always come back to College Town and so I think the best way to look at it is, if you want to come back to College Town, come back in very strategic places with intentional emotional agendas. I'm coming back not to relive something, but I'm coming back into the bubble to kind of nurse myself back so I can go back out there. Think of the world as a boxing ring, and the College Town is your corner after a round or two. So you need to come back, sit down, take care of your bruises, drink some water, get a couple advice from the old people or your old friends, and then, all right, Chief, you ready what you got? Ready what was in you before? Get out there again. And you go like, yeah, put it in and get out there. That's College Town.
I want you to just send me that